Yo guys, welcome back just to another video on the channel.
Just when you've
Today
done your
we are
lap,
here
like,
with
just let me
UFRL
finish my lap,
Tier 1,
and then
round number 3 around the Mexico
another
City
night.
circuit. Last week we started off in Silverstone, and you may be asking why we have jumped straight to round 3, and that is because I was on holiday for about like 10 days or whatever, so I missed the round number 2 at Qatar. So we have dropped back a considerable amount in the standings, as I can't exactly think off the top of my head who won that, but either way, the points in this league, if you get a top 3, it's just massive. It's like 27 plus points, and as I wasn't racing, I'm obviously going to lose about 20 to 30 points on everyone else in the championship. So we are now going to be fighting a very steep uphill battle in the championship, but we're going to look to bounce back in this first or final lap of qualifying. Starting off the lap, just about using ERS, just trying to use a certain amount. It's very difficult, this game, with the ERS and how it works without hot lap mode being a thing. You're having to use overtake everywhere. It is very difficult to figure out and get your head around, but we've done quite well through the first few corners. We're up about a tenth going into sector 2, a very slow, tricky section through turns 4, 5 and 6, just trying to get it as neatly round as we can. Link's setting the fastest lap of the day with a 1:14.2. We have a massive snap on the exit which lost us about a tenth total, which is putting me a bit on the back foot coming into the final sector, but still in the middle sector now. We're going through the S's, gaining a little bit of time. We've actually gained a tenth back, but going into the stadium section, this is where all the time is there to gain. We went purple in the first and second sector. There's a little bit of traffic up ahead, but we are trying to get it as neat and tidy as we can through the last few corners, chucking it through the last corner, trying to get the foot down as quick as possible. We are now 4 tenths up going up to the line.
Come on.
And we manage to put it on pole with a 1:14.0. Link's Piece, Young Lights, Mercs and Sniper C rounding out the top 5. Well, that's a huge way to bounce back from holiday. We have done pretty well there, but going into the race, it is 5 red lights starting on the mediums, and away we go. We get a very slow getaway. We have Links closing up to the side of our car, but we do manage to cover him off. We're going to burn as much battery as we can going into the first corner. Links is following in the slipstream. Young Lights is looking like he's going to make it 3 wide, but we end up staying in the lead. But we're having a very sketchy first few corners. We're holding everyone up. We've already got a track limit warning after 3 corners. Behind us, Bad Boy's making his way up from P5. He is into P4 at the minute, maybe even challenging Lights for P3. But we have managed to hold on to the lead of the race, which is the most important thing. We did run deep in both turn 1 and 2, but we have done pretty well to stay in the lead. I'm already about a second away from Links. We're already breaking the DRS, and on this year's game, DRS is opening on lap 1 instead of lap 3, meaning that if we can gain a second on lap 1, we have already broken the DRS. It's how it is in real life, which is, I think it's good for real life racing, the DRS change, but for league racing it is very difficult, and it is a bit worse for the leader because you're not able to break the DRS in enough time. And we also have a massive snap on the back end. We nearly spun it round, so that's definitely keeping Links in the DRS. Starting lap 2, he's not going to be able to challenge us into turn 1. We're looking back, just making sure, but we are pretty low on battery now, so we are going to be hoping to charge up. We are going to be trying to charge up some battery because we don't want to be having any fights with anyone. We just want to be keeping it in the lead. Preferably we'd keep it in the lead, but which we have done going into lap 5. Start lap 5. There's about 3 seconds between myself in P1 and my teammate Bad Boy in P3, which is great for me and Links. We will both surely be running away with it. But there is a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is Young Lights, who did start on pole position, no, not pole position, started P2, I believe, and he was definitely going to be a contender for the win. But my teammate Bad Boy, you can't hear him on the mic, but he may or may not have allegedly took him out in turn 3. It wasn't on purpose. He didn't do it maliciously, I should say. but that is a competitor for the win out of the race, and the gap between P1 and P3 is now about 5 seconds. Merckx and Bad Boy both already picked up a 3 seconds, and there is a safety car. Doug has binned it going into the SS section as per usual, and the safety car has thrown a spanner into the works with the strategy. But I believe the best decision is to go on to the hard tyres, which we will do. We are about a second up on the Delta, but it's alright because we're going to box, and Lynx is going to follow us in, and I would assume everyone else follows us in to put on a set of hard tyres. I wonder how many people will box, because I hope everyone on the mediums had boxed. If they didn't, that is very questionable strategy from them. But you can see that we are going to lose some positions, and will we get out ahead of Viva? We just about miss out, but we come out in P4, which could be a lot worse. And you can see Hazer in P6 on the hard compound. He had a qualifying ban because he had to serve an engine penalty, which is something in this league where basically everyone has to serve a technical qualifying ban as an engine penalty, which is quite interesting. But Hazer decided to take his in round 3, meaning he started from the back of the grid, and he has not boxed yet, meaning he is going to be on older hard tyres, and he still has to make a box in this race, which means that if the whole race goes on without another safety car, he will be in a horrible position. But ignoring that for now, we have restarted under the safety car, trying to follow Viva as quick as possible. We're going to move out and try and warm up the tyres, because the tyres, you can see they're on 60 degrees. They are freezing cold, and we really need to get temperature into these, because we're about to have no grip through the first sector or two on this lap, just as we're warming up the tyres. Viva has a massive snap, and we're instantly going to jump on it and use our battery to get ahead and try and clear the traffic. We would ideally like to get in front of Matty in P1 as quick as possible. Bit of a lock up ahead, which means that we had to take evasive action, because I did not know if that was a crash or not. But we managed to survive at least through the first sector, which is ideal. But we are going to try and get past Coffee. You can just see that he is going a slight bit slower. He is on the worn hard tyres. We're on fresh tyres, and this is only holding us up, which we're going to try and use our battery to see if there's a move into turn 12 and at the start of the castle section, but there isn't just yet. We do have the more grip though, so we are going to go to the inside. We're going to fake up the inside, but he does leave the space, so I do decide to dart down, and we nearly spin the car. Had to catch it, and now we're under attack from Viva. We need to hang around the outside through the final corner, and we managed to do that. So we've managed to catch a spin and then not get overtaken, which is definitely ideal for this safety car restart. We want to get past as quick as possible, staying on the same lap we just cut away from though. We are still behind Coffee. Not close enough to make a move into the start of the castle section, not the castle stadium section, but we are going to chuck up the inside, and we are going to do the exact same move we did last time, but with a bit more conviction, actually going for the move. We hang around the outside, and we managed to get the move done before the final corner. It had to make that move. That move had to be done, because if I didn't, I would have been stuck behind and losing so much more time. But right now, if we can get past Matty quickly, then we will be in a great position, as Link's piece is the closest in P5. He is the closest on our strategy. So if we get past everyone and he manages to get held up by traffic, we will be in a great position to go on to lead this race and potentially even win this race if there is no further safety cars. Still behind Matty, he has a massive snap of the rear. He nearly cuts the corner, and then it's just a basically free overtake. He goes and runs deep into turn 6, and we just get it done. Cutting on to the next lap, we have Matty still behind us. Lynx has got past Viva, so there's only 2 cars separating myself and Lynx.
I was so cautious.
And we managed to break the 1 second gap to Peely. So we are in an amazing position, and we can only hope that through the stadium section the gap of 1.1 seconds continues to rise and ends up being maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but I mean that's a bit of a stretch. But we are just trying to run away as quick as possible right now. We have a little snap on the exit, but nothing to put us into the wall. Cutting ahead to the same point on lap 14, the gap is now 2 seconds, and Merckx has gone and picked up a 6-second penalty. He has not been keeping to the track limits, but that's not going to be a complaint for myself. But Lynx did get past what I believe it was Coffee in P3. Coffee is not on the top 5 anymore. Not sure what happened to him. Maybe his tyres just weren't working, which wouldn't surprise me, but it's unfortunate for him. But the gap coming out of the final corner is 3 seconds now. Matty's tyres are so like gone. His tyres just aren't good at this point, which is very good for us because Link's only getting past now, but it's good for us as he is now going to have to catch up 3 seconds worth of time just on pure pace, which I'd like to back myself into thinking that he won't be able to do it, not easily anyway. But moving on to lap 21, we have cut 6 laps ahead. Pucci, another title contender, as you would see from the first round. He has been disconnected and we have lapped him. But luckily he was just a ghosted car, so it's completely fine. Merckx managed to get past Lynx somewhere within the 6 lap jump, but the gap is now 4 seconds. It is looking like an incredibly easy road to victory, and gonna cut ahead just a few more laps because Merckx has actually brought the gap down a little bit. I must have not been as locked in as I previously was, but Hazer, if you look into the top left, has boxed the kick Sauber, has boxed, but if you look in the bottom left now on the mini-map, there is no cars near him in the pits. He will not lose any positions, actually I lied, he'll lose a couple positions, but he won't lose nearly enough to ruin his race as much as I previously thought he would during the first set of stops. And I'm just looking where he came out. Yeah, he's up into P5, but William has overtaken. But he has actually made the move stick. He is now 22 seconds behind myself, and about 18 seconds away from the podium. And he's on the freshest set of tyres. We're all on the warm tyres that are about 20 laps old at this point. So he's just gotten past DJ Dallas in the Haas, and he is on a charge to get back into the podium. He can get into if he can get into the 6 seconds of Merckx, he's just picked up a podium from starting last on the grid. But you can look at the bottom, Merckx has been disconnected from the race, and he's going to lose so much time as a ghost car because the AI on this game is so slow. At least for league racing, they make the AI a lot slower to help with back markers or whatnot. And now it is looking like Hayes is going to pick up a podium from an abysmal strategy because he started on the hards, which was a risk to begin with. But it's not ideal. But you can look in the top left now because that's what we've been doing for this race. Just looking in the top left, and Hazer has now made it past Merck on track.
I just nearly bent it. So.
And as we nearly been it, he is up into P3. And it isn't looking like with 2 laps of racing left to go.
Disgusting.
He would have to gain 8 seconds in the next 2 laps to Lynx to get a P2, which isn't looking like it's going to happen. His tyres did not gallop to speed as much as I did think he would. I thought it would be a lot faster for him, and I thought he would actually be able to have a lot more pace than us, but he's barely gained. He's gained like 4 seconds in the last 6 or 7 laps, which is not as much as I did think. But we're coming into the final sector now of the race. It has been a very comfortable win. We have 7 seconds onto P2, 18 seconds to P3. The safety car really helped us in the end. And it is going to be a great return to the racing, and we are going to take the win. You can see me showing off. We've taken the win in UFRL Tier 1 in round number 3, and we have gained a lot of points back, and that is a great way to kick off my return to the league after the holiday. Haven't lost any pace, and it's been shown. Hazer has surprisingly, though, and impressively picked up a P3 after starting last on the grid. Which is
got the win.
It's unfortunate because I did all I could do. I got the win. I got the pole position. I think that's around 36 points, but it's not too much of a gain. I think it's a 9-point gain on Hazer, who is probably the main championship rival in this tier and this season. But if you did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe. And I apologise that this commentary hasn't been very good. I don't know why. I'm just a bit out of it at the minute, but needed to get the video out for you guys to know what happened. But we'll be here next week for round number 4, which is Portugal. Horrible track, but oh well. See ya.